Who is your prosecutor and Furman, Mr. Daly?
I don't know who the
Okay.
Jackie Wise signed the stipulation last week, but beyond that,
Okay. Okay. All right. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Daniel William Furman, file number 1993-5811 FH. I have James Daly appearing on behalf of Mr. Furman, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for an arraignment on bench warrant and pretrial. So let me see here. So the original contempt of court was issued on July 13th of 1994 for, is this a violation of probation? Yes. Was he sentenced on this? Yes. All right, so it's a violation of probation for failure to appear in writing or in person on June 29th of 1994 and July 6th of 1994. Therefore, he had violated his probation and also changing his address and employment. So, Mr. Daly, how would you like to proceed on this matter today?
Well, he'd plead guilty to that, Your Honor, at this time. We're just trying to get his 33-year-old record cleaned up the best we can.
Okay, yeah. And you probably want to close this file. So,
yeah, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, so Mr. Furman, I'm just pleased that you decided you wanted to take care of this and have come back. So I do appreciate that. All right, so Mr. Furman, do you understand that you're here on a violation of probation charge today? And Mr. Daly has indicated that you wish to enter a plea now to the violation of probation. And let me look at the file because I don't even know how to read a file this old. And it looks like you pled to delivering manufacture of marijuana, which carries, what did that carry? Maximum penalty. Let me look, find a felony.
4 years, Your Honor.
Oh, maximum penalty. Okay, so Mr. Furman, do you understand that this violation of probation could carry up to 4 years in prison if you plead guilty or found guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Furman, you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Furman, are you satisfied with Mr. Daly as your attorney and the advice that he's given you?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, do you understand you have a right to contest this violation of probation charge to have a trial on it? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that throughout the trial, you would be presumed innocent until your guilt is proven by a preponderance of the evidence? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you have a right to have all the witnesses against you appear at your trial, to have your lawyer ask those witnesses questions, or you may ask them yourself, and to have me order any witnesses you might have to appear at the trial? Do you understand all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
You do not have to testify at your trial, and no one can say anything about you not testifying or hold it against you in any way. Do you understand all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
On the other hand, do you understand that you have a right to testify at your trial if you want to testify?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, how do you plead to the violation of probation charge that you violated the terms of your probation by failing to report on June 29 of 1994 and July 6 of 1994 and moving and changing your address and employment without notifying your probation officer? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
All right. Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you will be giving up the right to a trial, as I've already explained to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anything been promised you to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Has anyone threatened you in any way to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
And if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats. Gotta bring donuts next time, you know. Let me say that again. If I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, Mr. Furman, back in 1993, you entered a plea to a delivery manufacturer of marijuana charge. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you were placed on probation. And a term of your probation is that you were to report as required to the probation department. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And another term of your probation is that you had to notify the probation department if you moved or if you found different employment. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And Doug Hartung's signatures on this. All right. Let me go back. Keep going. All right. And would you agree that during, well, back on June 29th of 1994 and July 6th of 1994 that you failed to report to probation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is that because you had moved to Florida?
Yes.
Okay, did you have permission to move to Florida?
I've tried to get permission, ma'am. My father was passing of cancer and they wouldn't let me transfer. So I left.
You just did it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and did you okay, and would you agree that you failed to report any time after that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Stevenson.
Yes.
I don't know if you're able to find what the balance owed on this file is.
I'm sorry, what the what is?
The balance owed.
I can't. You want me to do that right now?
Yep, if you could. All right, so Mr. Furman, I accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights. He does have competent counsel. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation. I am going to set sentencing for September 21 at 8 a.m. Mr. Daly, are you available that day, Mr. Daly?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, and Mr. Furman, you're able to zoom in that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so hold on. All right. What I'm going to briefly put you in a breakout room with Mr. Stevenson, and he's going to get your information from you and set up a time for you to do an interview with them, for them to prepare a probation violation sentencing recommendation. Be honest with him about where you've been, what you've been doing. Have you had any criminal charges in the last however many years?
No, ma'am.
Well, that's good. All right. Do you have any now you do have a right to appear in person, but you can also waive that right to appear in person and appear via Zoom. How would you like to be sentenced, in person or in Zoom?
Via Zoom, please.
All right. So that will be a Zoom sentencing. Mr. Daly, is that acceptable to you?
It is, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Stevenson, were you even able to pull the file up?
Yeah, I was going to grab his contact information. I didn't want to miss that.
No, I'm going to put you in a breakout room real quick with him.
Okay, I'll grab that information then.
All right, Mr. Furman, you do have a balance you owe the state of Michigan, and you know, like we like to collect our money. So I would make sure you know that you probably should pay that. Okay.
I'd be happy to pay it.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Daly, do you wish to join the breakout room with them?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Okay. Let me open up 9 breakout rooms for Wednesday. All right. So, Mr. Furman, I'm going to put you and Mr. Stevenson into a breakout room as soon as he gets back. I just don't know what you paid already, but I'm not sure. So
I'm not sure either. It's been a while.
it's been a while. So I saw Mr. Daly wins the record for having the longest client on one file, 1992 now. I
Well,
mean,
good to be a part of it, but not under the circumstance.
yeah. I see Mr. Hartung signed some paperwork. He was probably a law student without a P number signing it. All right. All right, I'm gonna open that breakout room, Mr. Stevenson, and it'll be the same Zoom number as today, all right, Mr. Furman?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Judge, he owes 725.
All right, make sure you tell them that again when you're in your breakout room. All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Ladd, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Zachary Lawrence Allen Ladd, file number 2022-21116FH. I have James Daly here on this file now, appearing on behalf of Mr. Ladd, and I have Amanda Wagner appearing on behalf of the people. Mr. Daly, how would you like to proceed today on behalf of Mr. Ladd?
Your Honor, right now, he's had one forensic center done. Since that evaluation, another one has been scheduled. It hasn't been completed yet. And he has now been picked up for a third time. And we're going to have to evaluate his competency again. I talked to Mr. Ladd the other day at the jail. Mr. Ladd seemed cognizant at the time of the charges against him and what he wanted to do with them. But based upon what's happened in the past, I'm hesitant to proceed without another evaluation. Mr. Ladd doesn't want another evaluation, and he's ready to proceed at this time. I just don't know about the wisdom of that.
Okay, so we've had, it's an independent we're waiting on that you wanted done, Mr.
No.
Daly?
From the forensic center.
Oh. Okay. So, Mr. Ladd, you are charged with 3 counts of assault with a dangerous weapon, 1 count of disturbing the peace. All of those could result in up to 4 years in prison. Do you understand that, Mr. Ladd?
yeah,
Now, Mr. Daly is a very experienced criminal defense attorney. He's handled many cases. And, you know, his job is to advise you, and his recommendation is to proceed and finish up that examination. Do you understand that?
yeah,
Okay, and it's already been requested, so hopefully it won't take that long from this point. Do you understand that?
yeah,
Okay, would you like to follow your attorney's advice and wait for that examination before we proceed?
yeah.
Okay, all right, so Mr. Daly, I'm going to set this out to November 15th. And Mr. Daly, if it gets done and we get the report, we'll bring them in sooner, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Ladd, I'm gonna set it for November 15th at 8:15, but as soon as we get the report, we'll bring you back in, okay? Okay, you're all set, Mr. Ladd, thank you. Mr. Daly, I do not, let me see, do I have anything else with you?
Nope, I think I have to go to Judge O'Saver's court, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Daly.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Goldstein, you were next. And let me find you. Mr. Rosenberg is in my waiting room, then Mr. Leach, you will be next after that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, bring Mr. Rosenberg in. Good morning, Mr. Goldstein.
Morning, Your Honor.
All right. Miss Adams, if you could let the jail know, I can take any of Mr. Malaro's clients, Anthony LaFrance, James Hyder, Tiffany Schermacher, or Dier's Bush. All right, Mr. Rosenberg, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good morning. This is
Good
in the
morning,
matter of the people. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Zachary David Rosenberg, file number 23-21322 FC. I have David Goldstein appearing on behalf of Mr. Rosenberg, and I have Douglas Hartung appearing on behalf of the people. Mr. Goldstein, this is the date and time set for a pretrial conference. How would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, I don't.
Can I add one more thing? One more thing. I did receive a letter dated September 11 from Darren Coast from the pretrial services, my pretrial services coordinator. And he said that Mr. Rosenberg continues to test 2 times a week as part of his bond conditions and is consistent with his testing.
And I'm assuming that means that there are no positive tests, Your Honor.
He has a medical marijuana card, but other than marijuana, no.
Yeah, thank you. Judge, I don't have my file with me, but I thought this was the final pretrial. I believe we have a trial date set in this matter.
Well, let me look.
It's November,
Yes,
it's
we do.
November 7th.
November 7th for 2 days, starting at 9 a.m.
As at this point in time, Your Honor, we're proceeding to trial.
Okay,
If
all
that
right, so,
changes- If that changes, obviously we will notify the court, but at this point, we're proceeding to trial.
all right, and I think, let me see, when is November 7th? I don't think that I set on this one, or did we already do it? A deadline for jury instructions and what are your questions?
I don't believe so, because we had thought there was possibility to be a plea, and we set this pretrial well down the road from the November 7th trial date.
Correct.
Okay, so, all right,
Your
so
Honor, I
the
wouldn't
charges,
object- I'm sorry, if the court wants to have another final pretrial closer to the trial date, I have no objection to that.
okay. All right,
So
so in this
we-
case, all
I have no problem with that either way.
right, in this case, he's charged with delivery of a controlled substance causing death, which carries a term of life. Delivery and manufacture, which carries a 20-year, and homicide manslaughter that carries 15 years. So in the event he's convicted at trial, Mr. Rosenberg, understand you would be remanded to custody that day. And Mr. Goldstein and Mr. Hartung, when can you have your voir dire questions and jury instructions prepared to hand in?
By the first week of October?
That's fine, and final witness
Thank
list
you.
as well.
Yeah.
So why don't we do October 6th? They would be due. I'll make that the motion deadline too. And final pretrial conference. And why don't we make that October 25
That
at
should,
8:30 in the morning? Is that all right, Mr. Goldstein?
well, that should work, Your Honor, yes.
I can put it a week earlier.
No,
Early.
I started trial on Monday of that week, but I think the trial will be done by Wednesday, so.
Okay, all right, very good. All right, I filled out a scheduling order, so I'm going to require motions to be filed and heard, jury instructions due, voir dire questions due by October 6th. Final pretrial October 25, 8:30 in the morning, and then the trial is already scheduled, is November 7th. Scheduled for 2 days. And we will see you back that day then, Mr. Rosenberg. Any questions or anything we need to add, Mr. Goldstein or Mr. Hartung?
No, Your Honor.
No, all set. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you all. Your bonds
Yeah, I'll be
continue, Mr.
calling.
Rosenberg. I'm sorry,
What was
Mr.
it?
Rosenberg.
Nothing.
Well, did you not hear something, Mr. Rosenberg?
No, you're fine.
Okay, all right, good. You're all set then. Thank you, Mr. Rosenberg.
Thank you, Judge. Yeah, I'll be calling tonight. What's this thing?
Aaron Schisler, if you could start your video, please. There you go. All right, this is in the matter of people of the state of Michigan versus Aaron Schisler, file number 22-20739FH. This is the date and time set for pretrial conference in this matter. I have Bruce L. Leach, P75056, appearing on behalf of the defendant, and I guess I have Mr. Fleming appearing on behalf of the people. So, Mr. Leach, how would you like to proceed today with Mr. Schisler?
Good morning, Your Honor. May it please this honorable court, Bruce Leach appearing on behalf of Aaron Schisler, who's also present via Zoom. Your Honor, I've been working on negotiating a potential resolution, but we've been unable to come to a satisfactory resolution in this matter, so we would ask it to be set for trial.
All right. What is the plea offer? Plea to count 1, dismiss count 2 and 3.
Yes, ma'am. Not acceptable.
All right, Ms. Adams, I don't know if you want to give me the book for 24.
Okay.
I don't think you'll need that one this morning. Thanks, ma'am. Does it have one? Okay. All right, Mr. Leach, how many days do you think you need for trial?
I mean, I would imagine this could be a 2 or 3 day trial at most.
It's just,
We only have one witness to the defense.
all right, so now I'll make it a 2-day. And let's see. Right, so I can back this up to a January 23rd trial that I have. Are you available January 23rd and 4th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And this would be not the primary trial, it would be the backup trial. So January.
Okay.
3, 4. That would be a 9 a.m. start date on Tuesdays, but a 10:30 start date on Wednesdays. So.
And I've got
going to-
if also, Your Honor, if things continue, we may be able to negotiate this. If we do, certainly we'll notify the court if we're able to resolve it short of trial.
Okay, definitely. And if you do reach a resolution, just call and we'll fit you in at any time. All right,
Yes, ma'am.
so I'm going to require jury instructions and voir dire questions to be provided to the court by January 3rd of 2024. I do expect the prosecutor and the defense counsel to review them, try to enter a stipulated agreement on those, or I mean, at least sign off on them or agree to what they would be. Any that are in dispute, we can address at the final pretrial, which I'm going to schedule January 10 of 24 at 8:30 in the morning. There are instructions here for submitting the jury instructions in the format. And then I will make January 10 the motion deadline and motion in limine deadline to be filed and heard, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I filled out a scheduling order, so you won't have to do any paperwork today. And I will get that out to you. And is there anything else we need to address today, Mr. Fleming or Mr. Leach?
Nothing for Your Honor. Thank you very much.
None for the people. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, from the jail, I do have Mr. Malaro. And so I can take Anthony LaFrance, James Piter, Darius Bush, and Tiffany Schermacher.
All righty.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hold on. Trying to see who's next, you had Sam, right?
Yes.
All right, want to come on up? Mr. Malaro, I do have, let me find her here. My docket, Marley Bussing.
For an hour.
I'm sorry, Judge, what?
I have Marley Bussing. Are you ready for Miss Bussing?
I just found out yesterday she was released from the jail, so I haven't spoken to her. So I was.
Okay, she's here. Do you want me to send her to you, or what would you like to do?
Yeah, if she wants to come over, that'd probably be best.
Do you know where his office is?
Yeah.
All right, why don't you just go over there and I'll recall your case later. All right. All right, she's heading over to see you now. Okay. Are you a defendant?
No,
Just here to watch?
yeah, for my wife, the Jackie McSmith at City Court today.
Yep, she'll be here at some point. Okay. All right, Mr. Goldstein, I did not have you down for any other people today.
Your Honor, I got an email from Becky about Lisa Hannawalt. So I came back on just to make sure it's clear that I had withdrawn from her cases.
Okay, thank you, and I'll make sure. Did you file an order on that?
I'm pretty sure we did, Your Honor. Mr. Malaro, I think, is here for her this morning.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Goldstein. All right, so Mr. Malaro, I have William Dotson and Aaron Lambus in my waiting room. All right, that's Matt Murphy. Okay, so let's start with Mr. Dotson. Let me grab your file, Mr. Dotson. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus William Jarrett Dotson, file number 23-21374FH. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of Mr. Dotson, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the time set for pretrial. Mr. Malaro, how would you like to proceed today on behalf of Mr. Dotson?
And we're going to ask to adjourn this. We sent a drug court referral form on September 1st, and we do not have a report back on that yet.
I have a drug assessment today.
Mr. Dotson, what'd you say?
I have drug court assessment today after this court.
Excellent, very good. All right, so why don't I just set you out? I'm going to set you out to October 11, Mr. Dotson. I'm pretty sure we'll probably review your case today, but I'm going to set it, my next available date is October 11 at 8 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. And I think you're on you're on our schedule tomorrow for discussion at drug court. So October 11 at 8:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Let me write that in there.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. And Mr. Malaro, you do the stipend order to adjourn?
I will, Your Honor.
Mr. Steve, can you sign your name with permission?
Yes, thank you, Judge.
All right, excellent. All right, thank you, Mr. Dotson, and good luck today at your interview, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
I don't like this background because everything keeps popping up on it. We have the public satisfaction survey, in case anybody cares. All right, who do I have with me from the jail?
Anthony.
LaFrance?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Anthony Wayne LaFrance, file number 20-20096FC. 1 second. Hold on 1 second.